Everyday design decoded. Paper towels, the hidden plum. I was wiping up coffee on the counter this morning, and for the first time, I actually looked at the paper towel. Really looked at it. It had these little quilted diamond shapes stamped all over it.
Classic.
But why? I mean, on this show, Everyday Design Decoded, we usually find a reason for things. But this feels like vanity. Is big paper towel just trying to make trash look fancy?
It does look nice, doesn't it? But no, if those diamonds weren't there, you wouldn't have cleaned up that coffee. You would have just pushed it around the counter.
Pushed it around? Why? It's still paper.
Think about a stack of printer paper. If you spill water on that, the sheets stick together flat, right? The water has nowhere to go because the fibers are packed too tight. It seals itself shut.
Yeah, it turns into a soggy, slippery mess.
Exactly. That pattern isn't printed on, it's embossed. A machine stamps the paper with steel rollers to physically deform it. It breaks the fibers apart and creates what engineers call void volume.
Void volume. Sounds like space stuff.
It's just a fancy way of saying empty air pockets. By creating those hills and valleys, the embossing opens up space between the layers of paper. That space acts like a microscopic parking garage for the liquid.
Oh, okay. So the pattern is basically fluffing it up so there's room for the water to actually enter the towel.
Precisely. It maximizes the surface area so capillary action can pull the fluid in. But there is a second reason, and it's even more important.
More important than actually soaking up the spill?
Well, most decent paper towels are 2-ply, right? 2 thin sheets stacked.
Right.
Have you ever tried to glue 2 wet tissues together? They just slide apart. So how do those 2 plies stay attached when they're soaking wet?
I assumed glue.
Nope. Glue would wash out or make the paper stiff. The embossing points act like mechanical welds. The machine presses hard enough at those specific diamond points to mesh the fibers of the top sheet directly into the bottom sheet.
Wait, so the pattern is basically a bunch of rivets?
Uh-huh. Without those stamped points, the layers would separate and the towel would disintegrate in your hand the second it got wet. That pretty pattern is actually a structural grid, holding the whole thing together.
That is wild. So I'm not looking at a decoration, I'm looking at a structural plumbing system.
Ignite your muse with drops of inspiration. Search Musedrops.